Good morning, students. Let us start off with the next topic, which is selection. Selection, once we are done with recruitment, the next important step is selection. So, now we have a big pool, we have created a pool of applicants or say prospective employees, right? So, the next process would be selection. So, this process, what we do is we try to identify and choose the best person out of this pool. Okay, so it includes a number of steps. So out of this, in these steps we try to identify and choose the right person for the right job as per the specifications of that particular job and the skill set or the base of skills that a particular vacancy is asking for. So this process starts off with the preliminary screening. So once an application form is received from the organization's end, a preliminary screening has been done. So what happens is, if at all there are any unqualified candidates or any candidates where none of the skill sets match to the organization's standards or organization's requirements, so such candidates or such applicants will be eliminated in this process. Then they have a first round of interview, which is again called the preliminary interview. It all comes as a part of preliminary screening. So in this preliminary interview, the applicants come into contact with the officials and they have a chat on regarding the topics which has to be or the skill sets which has to be applied for this particular vacancy. And in this interview, candidates will be posed on with some general questions like their qualifications, experience and interests and such kind of questions. Okay, anything related to the general questions. And in such any reason, say if they are not compliant or say they do not satisfy the or any of these answers or any of the candidates answers do not satisfy the organization's required qualifications, experience or interests, then again the candidates will be eliminated from this stage. Okay, then once the candidates are rejected or eliminated, then they do not reappear in the application forms. So in most of the companies, it's like once you have already applied and if you have been eliminated, you do not have a chance to apply for the next 6 months. In some companies it's for the next 3 months or some, and in rare cases 1 year. So that is one thing. The next is a selection test. So once the candidates those who have passed of the interview stage, the next is to measure how much of abilities and skills the candidate has or the candidate possesses in terms of the organization's requirements. So there are different types of tests such as intelligence tests, aptitude tests, personality tests, then trade tests. There are different types of tests which each company follows. It depends on the requirement of the company or the vacancy, okay, to be more precise. Then comes the employment interview. So those who are again eliminated, we still have a pool from this stage. That is, once the tests are done, again from the test, those who pass the test, those who are passed again forms a pool of prospective candidates, and the rest are eliminated. Now these pools will be subjected to an employment interview. So that is a face-to-face conversation, and it helps the interviewer to know about the qualifications and experience that candidate possesses in more of a detail, right? Then comes, if at all that candidate is selected. Excuse me, I have a throat problem, so yeah, please bear with me for that. So once the employees have been selected or say candidates have been selected post the interview, there is a reference and a background check conducted by the organization's agents. Sometimes it can be people being appointed from the organization or maybe agencies with which the organizations have a tie-up. Okay, so the reference and background checks will be conducted on the references of the application form of the candidate. So if the candidates have been successful in the interview, The next is to check the reference. It can be from maybe from the previous employers or any persons they have given in contact, about teachers or professors, etc. They try to collect the past information of that candidate's employment or maybe education, what his reputation was, and what is his financial condition, or if at all there are any police records. This is mainly done to check the authenticity of the information given out by the candidate to the organization. This is the main aim of reference and background checks. Then comes the selection decision. Once the candidates who have all passed all these rounds, then the decision of selection comes into place. So the concerned manager of the particular team or say particular department makes the final decision. Then once those selected candidates, they will be subjected to medical examination. This is not necessary in all organizations, but certain organizations do conduct a medical examination in such organizations where physical examination has to be done and the people have to be declared fit and able for the work. Then once medical examination is also conducted, then after the final selection, the job offer is being provided. That is in terms of a letter. It can be online or it can be right on paper itself. Now this letter, it contains the terms and conditions of employment, the salary scale, then if at all there are any other benefits, then the rules and regulations they need to follow, and a candidate will also be given enough time to go through the job offer and proceed with it. If at all the candidate is not happy with some of the terms, or say with the salary, or sometimes maybe with the benefit or the timing of the job, sometimes they reject it, right? So job offer helps a candidate to go through the terms and conditions of the organization and see if it is suitable for him. So once he accepts it, then comes the contract. So once the candidate accepts the offer, there is a contract of employment which is duly signed by both the parties, that is the employer as well as the candidate. So the candidate has to provide certain details in this form, that is in the contract. So that is nothing but what kind of the basic details, like for identification, like for example, to say their identity card number, their address, address of proof address, and things like that. Okay. And the contract of employment contains the title of the job, okay, like what vacancy the person has been assigned to, the duties and responsibilities, what is the date of joining, what will be your pay, what all allowances you are subject to, how many hours you'll have to work, what are the different rules regarding HR, the leave, and disciplinary actions that will be taken if at all any of the rules and conditions have been violated by the candidate. Okay. So this is the selection process. So please go through the process in detail from your textbook, and please reach out to me if at all you feel there is anything confusing. Let me know, right? So you all have my number and you all know how to contact me. So let me know if at all you have any kind of confusions, and I'll let you know if there is anything, if you need any help, or if at all you need any detailed explanation. Please let me know. So let's meet with the next topic for the next day. Thank you so much.